Hey, how's it going, Hey, how's it going, everybody? So, very few often I get the question of how do I get better at animation? How do I improve myself in animation? And, you know, as a self-proclaimed animator, I'm very humbled by these questions, but I just want to give out a few tips on how you can improve your animation skills. But before we get into the whole technicality, uh, in animation, you really have to understand as a person or as an artist. Yes, it's a form of art. It's an art form, but you got to understand that animation is not just a form of art. It actually goes into your mind state and how you envelop your skills over the years and how you want to take it. You have to generally have a innate interest in animation because animation is not just an art form, but it's also a discipline. It's a discipline, it's a tool, and what else did I write down here? Because I have the notes. I don't want to edit videos. I don't want to get anything. It is a practice. There we go. So it's a discipline, it's a tool, and it's a practice. Because these three factors can form an entire economy. And why do I say that? Why I came about this because animation in the form of a tool and everything, the tool and a practice, animation can honestly carry and hold or just reform the mental state of an entire civilization or a part of a civilization or entire culture. Honestly, it can guide an entire culture uh, and carry it economically, financially, culturally, romantically, any of these type of psychological or social plays. If you think I'm wrong, or if you haven't thought about it in that type of practice or in that type of way, a good example would be Disney. Another example would be Apple. So I'm not going far off with this. So let me get my notes here real quick. So, but without going too far into a whole sinkhole of explanation and everything, I just want to give out these quick tips on how you can improve your animation. First off, with the explanation that I gave earlier, being that it's a discipline, it's a tool, and it's a practice, you have to reform your state of mind. You have to be very indulged into this practice. I know animation. I'm talking about animation from a standpoint of if you want to take this into if you want to take it long term into a career. If it's going to, I'm talking from a standpoint if you want to solely focus on animation, actually gain a living or actually become involved into the animation community or this field or this kind of aspect, because it's a very new form of storytelling. It's a very new form of technology that's being pushed. That's not being properly pushed, especially with the advent of the internet, because animation has been put into this whole category of this play, tappy do, lucky, fun, joy type situation. Not really, not really. This is, I think I'm just narrowing it down to a very ignorant point of view right now in for this video, so I'm not focusing on the very broad points of it. So I'm just thinking, maybe because I just said Disney, I'm just thinking about like, I don't know, Play-Doh and Toys R Us type situations right now, kitty type thing. But honestly, animation is geared more towards children. I mean, you guys, yeah, you people, the general public knows this. It's more geared towards children. So when people say, cartoon anime, they're instantly they're not triggered, but they're instantly wired to think, yeah, I'm not really into that thing. I'm more of a Game of Thrones type situation. I'm more of a Housewives type situation. The more grown up type shows. They're not gonna think of animation. It's a bunch of pop and colors and everything. So it's an innate feeling or registration of that because of what has been pushed generationally over the years from its date of inception. That can go far back, but its date of inception in popularization is what I'm trying to say. So especially now, what I was trying to get into with the advent of the internet, especially YouTube, because you have the Draw My Lives and the story time animations and everything, and it's all these cutesy, no pupil, big-eyed, smiley face type situations, especially with the Simpsons and the what's the other one, the Family Guys and everything. So it's a whole cultural bugalaboo that's going on with animation, but that's a far off gear. So that went way far off. But the quick tips I have here, just want to get my notes. I'm scattered brain, so I appreciate this note, man. I appreciate this note 10 plus. I could have did it on paper or what have you, but hey, man, it's just this. So I wanted to start off with so you want to get better at animation. Organization. I'm going to start off with organization. And you know what? I don't want to. It's going to be listed, but it's not going to. These 3 factors that I'm going to start off with this video is not going to be a key. They are key pivotal roles, but each of them are interchangeable in the ranking that is being listed. So just because I said organization doesn't make it more than what it is the other 2 or other whatever list, or they're listed, or if it's said last doesn't make it more significant or less than, if you get my drift. So yeah, organization. You have to organize yourself. You got to organize your mind state. You got to organize your time. Time is what I'm trying to get to. Time will include your discipline in perfecting your craft. So you have to perfect your art form. You have to really put yourself into the mind state of, okay, this is something I want to do long term. If you want to do it as a hobby, be my guest. If it's something you want to do artsy craftsy, hey, you know what, let me backtrack, let me backpedal real quick. I am not downplaying the cutesy artsy form, the laughing, the comedic, all those type of. I'm not saying animation has to be like this grunt, serious grudge type situation that always. But it isn't. It's a artist. It's such a convoluted, space. But it's a form of expressing somebody generally. Human beings are what they are, and I don't want to get into all that situation, but. Organization. You have to organize yourself. You have to set parameters that will that does not limit you, but provides excess time and variation in you learning new or taking in new ideas, if that made sense. Just keep yourself proactive and moving forward. Sorry about the mic. Moving forward, and sorry, I thought I wasn't recording. Moving forward into the field, or moving forward into learning and gaining more knowledge and gaining more skill. Second is, let me get my notes here, bro. I get lost. This is why I can't do a script, man, because I'll be retaking this. I don't want to be doing it. So, yes, this is one I stand by fully. Excuse me. I would definitely suggest long projects. I know with the TikToks, the Instagram Reels, the YouTube Stories, the Twitter, I don't know, GIFs, something like that, and Twitter, whatever you do on Twitter, everything is short form now. Everything is indulged in a very, I wouldn't say concise, but it's getting cut down a bit here. So attention spans aren't being preluded that long. So, again, I might be talking from another ignorant standpoint or biased standpoint where I generally enjoy long form. You know what? Not long form, but actual quality. quality and time taken and placed into animation. Not saying that all animations don't have their, it's a far off statement, but not saying that all animations don't have their own type of quality and time taken. And animation takes a lot of time. It takes a lot out of you, and it's that's sometimes it can be a joking matter, but it's a tough doozy, man. But yeah, work on long projects. If you have an idea in mind, if you have a story in mind, if you have some kind of character or world building concept that you want to envelop on, that you've been thinking about, that you want to incorporate into or build upon, you as an animator, you as an artist, you as a storyteller, please take the time. Don't be afraid to put pencil to paper. Don't be afraid to put pen to tablet, screen, digital. Use your resources and create something a minute long, 2 minutes long, 3 minutes long, 5 minutes, 4 minutes long, 5 minutes long, and go on with it. These projects usually take about, by the way, do it by yourself. Do it by yourself. Do one by yourself. See how you feel, because you will, the thing is with the long-term projects, you will learn, or you will increase, or you will develop your artistry, your sound work, your production, and your time management. I'm sure there's other facets to that, but that's just not coming to my mind right now. But those are 4 facets that came to my mind that obviously are very important in doing this by yourself, because as you do this stuff by yourself, you're going to have to put in sound input. You're going to have to do the sound effects. You're going to have to do the music. You're going to have to do the lighting. You're going to have to do your spatial recognition in the form of perspective and environmental resources like your backgrounds, your backdrops, your side characters, or what have you. Your story development. Your writing, obviously. Ooh, my bad. Sorry, writers. Sorry, my writers. Sorry, my screenplayers. I keep forgetting about the writing aspect. So yeah, you would definitely increase your writability. Is that something? Your writing prowess. In that. You will increase your writing ability, then your production, where you have to do all the fancy lighting and the effects apart from sound. Increase your artistry in form of, you have to learn anatomy. If you're dealing with, in any sort of aspect, you have to learn anatomy. If you're going to draw any type of tree, any type of inanimate object, human. So it's very well rounded, and over the time you'll start to see, because the thing with long form projects is you get to see from your from your initial standpoint, from your initial beginnings, when you begin the project and you start stepping through and you start, getting into the the meat of your animation or that project, or you start again, you start picking up on things, not only from the artistry standpoint, which I want to get back to, but you start picking up on things like, hey man, so how am I going to incorporate this sound effect here? What kind of music do I want to put here? It's like, what kind of background? How am I going to, shift the background in this kind of formation? It's like, how is this person going to interact with this kind of environment? It's a whole play that you have to get into. It's just convoluted, and then you start to come back into the artistry form, where it's just like, oh, man, I'm getting better at drawing this leg here. So it's just like, then you start going back into your other cuts or your other scenes, and you start seeing, it's like, well, I'm not feeling this leg right now. I know I can do better. So it disciplines you in the fact that, I'm starting to get better. I'm starting to improve on myself. I really want to actually go back and work this out, because what I try to push more in this name, or in the Cozie brand, is not perfection, but quality. I know that the whole saying, quantity over quality, or sometimes, I want a little bit of quantity over the quality, but, we can attest from the Disneys and the Apples out there that quality does make a giant difference. So perfect your craft and critique yourself in the form of long projects. That's the only way you can get better, and that's the only way you should and will get better. It's not, I'm not going to fall back on that. It's the only way. So, third point I want to go on to before I make this any longer than it should be, that it actually is longer than it should be right now, is get my notes here, because I always, when I get into something, it slips my mind. Yeah, there we go. Study from other filmography. What does that mean? Study from other artists, study from other forms of media. And I'm not saying if you like the anime, you gotta stick to Jesus. I gotta stick to only anime to a Japanese form of animation. No. If you like your anime, also study Western animation as well. Your DCs, your cartoons, your Tom and Jerry, your Bugs Bunny, your Mickey Mouse. These are artists, these are animators as well, and they have their own kind of workflow. And you can look at their brush strokes, how they manipulate time, how they manipulate frames, and how they manipulate their space in between the projects itself. Not individually, but as a whole. Not only animation, but film as well. Movies. If you have a certain medium or that you want to focus on, you want to do horror, you want to do action, you want to do all that type of things, don't be afraid to venture out. Please do not be afraid to venture out, because animation is not just an artistry. It's not just pencil, paper, drawing a little, a stick figure or a guy, moving or talking or flapping his lips real quick. It's also a form of you expressing yourself, which vice versa is a form of, what was I getting to here? Man. Form of, what's it called? Storytelling. Jesus, man. That just whipped over me, man. I was just thinking about it 3 seconds ago. It just fell off my radar in my head. Yeah, it's a form of storytelling. It's you telling your story. So look how other people, the James A. Abrams, the Michael Bays, well, don't, you know what? That was a discrepancy on my part too. Do not focus on only the region that you're in or that you admire. Break out. Because I like to think of your mind as a closed box. Break out of the box. Think out of the box. Obviously, you know where I'm going with this. Think out of the box. So you don't have to break out of that box drastically. Just do it minutely. So if you're thinking, okay, I want to tell this story. I really love anime, and I really love Western films. Don't stay in that parameter. Think of, how do people, let me just check out this, Korean film here real quick. Let me check out this Indian film right here real quick. Let me check out this Middle Eastern film, Egyptian film. Let me check out this Brazilian film, South American film. Let me check out this Cuban film. Let me check out this Jamaican film. Let me check out different artists. Also, not only filmmaking, but also, or filmography, but also music production. Check out other music, how they tie in or how they do their sound design, how to do their production design in the music industry. I'm not too versed in the whole music. I'm not too versed in the whole music situation and everything, so I don't want to go into all that. But yeah, if there's something that inspires you and everything, just take a listen to it. Just take a deep dive and see what kind of instruments, how they produce the film, produce the music. Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of mediums you can take off. take off from. And the main reason I said like films from a different region and stuff, because films is what you were making basically as an animator, because you're going to have to put pencil to paper, character to screen. You're not just making the screen, you're not just making a character, you're making a viewpoint. You're the camera. So you're the camera, and you have to imagine a camera to be imagined by the viewer. Or, well, you have to imagine a camera for the viewer to view it through your lens. Okay? So you have to know your spatial distancing. You have to know your angles that you want to do. You have to know your perspectives. You have to know all these type of techniques and obstacles to capture your audience and capture yourself. That's it for now. I don't want to make this any longer than it is. I appreciate it if you sticked, or if you came to the end of this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and end it on a cool. Thanks for watching this video. If it helped you out, hit me with a like. Just hit me with the like. Just hit the thumbs up button. That's cool. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to support anything. Just hit the like, man. It'll just give me a good evaluation if I'm doing what I need to do, Anyways, thank you for watching this video. You guys have a good day, and hope you learned something, all right? Thank you for watching again.